It's a very delicate topic. It's a very fragile and very sensitive topic. And it is a topic that is embedded in traditions. It had been part of culture and tradition of matriculants, families, schools, principals, deputy principals, teachers, or learners and educators, you would call it today, where there would be that moment where we're waiting for the results. It started from when we were preparing for the examinations into Matric, where you knew that I need to prepare, and I've done my applications for the next institution, whether it's varsity or college, whatever. But January would be that period where the level of anxiety is intense. People are extremely anxious, which sometimes led to a point where anxiety would be mistaken for fear. In sports, before a match is played, coaches, players, and everybody would tell you there's some level of expectation where you feel, can it get started? Then you get onto the center. As soon as the ball gets kicked, that anxiety flies out of the window. Then you're in the groove. So that it is not a fear to start the match and compete, but it is that sweet anticipation to say, bring it on. And that anxiety needs to be interpreted correctly because it may mislead. In the context of students, that level of anticipation and anxiety of the result, for those who did well, they have it up until they see the publication. You know that, I had a hell of a great run in the examination. I was confident. I wrote the papers were all that I had prepared for. But when they say publication is going to be the next day, I don't know how many of us sleep peacefully. Even geniuses don't get to sleep. Maybe they know that I may not get an A+, I'll get an A or B+ or B whatever, but nobody sleeps. But my advice, my personal advice, also based on experience from having been a learner, a teacher, also a player, and a football coach. There's a great relationship and correlation between what is happening to the current publication of the results in education, which is teaching and learning, and the results in sports. Heading into a match, you're gonna play a match the next day. The level of anxiety today is amazing. Match day, you can literally hear a pin drop when people are quiet, silent, anticipating the silence before the storm, the calmness before the storm. That is before the match. It is the same with these students, with these learners, with these matriculants. After the match, the result is out. You either draw that match, you win that match, or unfortunately, you lose that match. It is not the end of the world. There's going to be an outcome on these results. Others are going to be successfully through. Others are still gonna be, okay, I did it, but I'm not happy, which is a draw. And others who definitely have killed it. Then the understanding and interpretation of such must get to a level where we start with the end in mind in terms of how we then digest this information.
Now that the season has ended, throughout the year that you have made it, you got good results, congratulations. Definitely, you have worked hard. Now you've actually been doing a lot of sweat and sacrifice during the study time. You were there, gave yourself enough time to study, and sometimes when the good things come and people say, hey, can we go there and have fun? Now you knew that you have to keep to yourself, and so that you then keeping good results, which is where you are right now. So excited. Congratulations. It was not for nothing. Congratulations, because you worked hard, you sacrificed throughout the season. You did not have time to go out and play. You'll definitely be the torch, the bearer to the youngsters that are following you, which is very, very, very important. To then speak to the ones that did not make it, the final one. Which means what you are actually going through, what you're doing right now, the season changes. You might have worked even harder, but not getting good results. I think it's very, very important. You still have another couple of months next season to work on. You know where you have actually gone wrong. You know where you have actually did not put effort in the whole thing. In the next year, we'll be talking something different. You'll definitely be getting good results. Don't worry about what people are saying. It's yourself that you have to go out and do it the best way.
I'll quickly go to those who did not make it, the ones who got a loss in this match, a football match, and the results in Matric. If you view this outcome as a failure, it's going to fail you. It is not failure. And by the way, the word fail, some call it an acronym of first action in learning, FAIL, first action in learning. It is your first attempt in Matric. It's not the end of the world. They must understand that. But this should be a stepping stone to them to say, I'm challenging myself to get better and not bitter. And run your race. Stay in your lane. You can never compete in somebody's position. You are yourself. The outcome belongs to you and nobody else. Don't ever be misled by someone who then brings their own expectations and they put it in front of you and expect you to live to their expectations. You have your own expectations. Whatever outcome you got in this Matric results belongs to you. A plus, congratulations. A 0 or a stalemate, you can do better. A negative means you just need to go back and do it again. And don't ever make a mistake of concluding your life because of the results of Matric. Most people commit an error where they say, just because I could not make it first attempt into Matric, it only delayed your entry into post-Matric institutions. You're still gonna go there. But if you decide, because most of these kids, I saw a clip of one kid, whether you know social media, sometimes these things just fly, but the storyline on it was that this kid could not handle getting results he never expected, and he literally lost it. No, man. Before I could even ask the others, the bystanders, to be sympathetic and empathetic to those who are receiving their results who may not have gone through in a way expected. Before I go to them, I must talk first to the recipients. As you receive your result, they remain your primary responsibility. Take care of that yourself. And don't expect anybody to take care of your own responsibilities. Move aside. And for those who are watching the guy who's receiving their results, understand their position and ask yourself, what could it have been? What could have happened had it been that you were in their shoes? So it is very important to have that understanding that do not put pressure on anybody. And that particular person must not also allow pressure to be on them. There's still a long way to go. You only completed 12 years. 12 years of study. You are being measured by Matric. But with life, this is only a test at an education point of view of 12 years. You're still gonna have other years to reach 70. There's still more tests you're gonna go through. And as you go through those tests, in conclusion, those tests are made that you should be trusted. You can never be trusted if you had never been tested. Even in leadership, in sports as a coach, you have to be tested to be trusted. And then after receiving the results, you get trusted. Then there will be a level of confidence in you and your capabilities. When people start to have that confidence, then they start to have an element of belief. And beyond belief is faith. But for you to reach the level of faith where things just happen because you know that even with powers that you do not see it's gonna be, the beginning is a test. So that the test was tough and you couldn't pass immediately, don't give up. It is only a test to be trusted. Try your best to go back and earn your trust. You may have just faltered in your first step, but there's always second time. It is in your hands, it is in your capacity, it is in your strength, and as a human being, you're capable enough to go back and rectify. It's okay to commit an error. There's nothing wrong, only those who try their best commit errors. So I wish everybody the very best, and a congratulations to those who made it. However, even those who made it through may only be there, and they are likely to be left behind by the ones who didn't make it, depending on what they do with where they're standing currently. Because you may find that in 2025, you matriculated from 2024, and then you're just waiting. A guy who could not matriculate in 2024 then goes on and tries again in 2025. Then they pass, and you're still stuck. And then they go on, they surpass you, they go beyond. So it is not how you start. It is all about how you finish. Those who managed, pursue. Those who couldn't, go back, prepare again, and continue to pursue. And those who decide to stop, you run a risk. In South Africa, as a nation, a society, we need to have a higher level of understanding in education, because the basis of success of any human being lies in their level of education. We wish you the very best.